This is Dr. Dwain Woode, and I am about to have my last meal before I start my fast. And so, as you know, 72-hour fast that we start once a week, and I am right now getting ready to have my last meal. Now, I've got a lot of stuff in front of me, so I'm going to show you what this is. This is usually what the types of things that come on a Tuesday, because we have lunch that's brought in for us. And so today I went downstairs like I normally did, and I got what I would have had, and I just wanted to show you some of the different things. I'm not getting ready to eat all of this, but just so you see what is possible for the fast. And for each of these, I've made some specific decisions about what I'm going to have. So let me go ahead and turn, that air just came on. And give me just a second. All right, hold on a minute. All right, so I'm back. And so let's go ahead and let's take a look at a couple of things. And so from downstairs in the cafeteria, I've got, this is some salmon and asparagus. I think this is from Nothing But Noodles. There's a salad. And I'm gonna have meatballs with the salad. And then this is what I normally would have had for my meal, right? And that's spaghetti and meatballs. But because we've changed what we eat, how we're eating, we're dealing with, when we talked about balanced bites in our last episode, the things that I'm eating are different. So I'm going to have the salad, I'm going to have the asparagus, and of course, because I want to get enough protein, I'm having the salmon, and I'm having some of these meatballs. Okay, so that's the plan. So I'm going to go ahead and here's a meatball. And right now you're hearing some noise from the air conditioner. I tried turning that off, but and this is going to be a quick one because our meeting went over, and so I've got some patients that are going to be waiting for me here in just a minute. Let me see if I can get rid of this sound. Also, hold on. All right, there we are. Okay, and this is some grilled salmon. Grilled salmon with asparagus. That's good. And I want to make sure that I get enough protein in. So that's why you see multiple examples of protein. Because that's what's going to help me maintain my satiety. That is, make sure I'm not hungry. I'm not feeling hungry. And also will blunt the cravings. Okay? Oop. So if you are doing your 24-hour fast, this is a perfect time to do that. You can start today with this. Tomorrow will be your 24 hours. If you're not quite ready to start today, you can start tomorrow at around this time and then go into our second day with us. And of course, there's always the third day. Or if you're doing a longer fast, perfect time as well. So if you watched our show on Monday, we introduced the concept or reintroduced the concept of balanced bites as part of the health action plan. And the first component, the first pillar, the first foundational concept within balanced bites is whole foods first. Not that you can't have other things, but as you're eating, the first thing is, okay, what are the whole foods that I have available to me that I can eat? And so asparagus is a whole food. The salmon, grilled, not a salmon patty, but just a salmon, but salmon. Now the meatballs, I'm sure there are probably some fillers in there. So not a complete whole food or not a whole food. So that's good. So remember, as you're getting into the fast, the things that you eat going into the fast will help determine how the fast will go. Okay. Salmon, asparagus done. And so we're moving over to the salad. And I'm gonna actually take the croutons off of the salad because if I don't, those will cause spikes in my blood sugar, which I don't want. So I'm gonna drop those off. Now I didn't, normally I put more cheese and I put eggs on my salad because those will give me protein, they'll give me fats. I didn't do that today, and I didn't do that because I was rushing to get back up here because what I ordered didn't come. And so I am basically doing kind of a default meal, right? So I know what I want in the meal. I know the types of things I want in the meal. So I'm actually creating, I'm creating this last meal on the fly. And I'm also taking off the onions because I'm about to go into rooms with people, right? So we don't want that. So I'm taking the onions off the top. Now I normally would have the onions because I love onions, but here we don't want that. Okay, so here we are. So that's pretty good. So that's what the salad looks like right now. And like I said, not a whole lot of cheese on it, which I normally would have. And then I'm gonna get some, this is, I think, ranch dressing. Oh, there's some more, one piece more asparagus. Here we go. All right. Here we are. Awesome. Okay. So we've gone through and we walked through now 4 of the pillars of the health action plan: walking, fasting, strength training, and balanced bites, or eating for health, eating for metabolism, eating for insulin sensitivity. And so this week we'll spend time talking about the foods that we eat in the non-fasting stage, or in our non-fasting windows, which is very, very, very important. Particularly now here, this meal is actually very important, because as we're getting into the fast, this will determine how what signals we're sending to our body. Remember, all the food that we eat sends signals to the body. We want to make sure that we are sending the correct signals. Okay, well, I'm going to finish this up quickly, because I've got to get back into clinic. But I hope you are either starting your fast now, going to be joining us as we move through the fast, continuing the fast with us tomorrow, the day after. But at some point, I encourage you to fast. As I mentioned, our goal is that all people who are in our community begin fasting at least once a week for a 24-hour period. That's a start. We could expand that further, but what you learn and the benefits you get within that first 24 hours are going to be fundamental and foundational for what we do after this. Hey, Bowie, how are you? See one of our community members out there starting our fast. So I've got, once again, and people say, oh, you always eat a salad. Now, the reason I eat a salad, and I put lots of different things on the salad. So if you saw me, I had the salmon, I have the asparagus that I had, which is all done. I even had some meatballs. So you can, if you have the salad as a base, right, and that just gives me bulk, right, gives me fiber. I could do other things that would do the same thing, but I choose to use salad, or the lettuce and the other greens that are in there, as a fiber bulky buffer, right? So that gives me quantity, it gives me fiber, and then on top of that, I add my fats and my protein. Now, some people say, oh, I'll do something like quinoa, or I'll do some other kind of high fiber carb, which you can do. That part really doesn't matter. It is the combination of the things that you're having for this last meal that really matters, okay? And so you have to understand that your body is getting a signal from all the food that you eat. And so the signal that I want to send my body is, hey, I need my stomach to be full. I need to have fiber that's in there that's going to blunt any absorption of any carbs. I need the protein and the fats that are going to slow the digestive system. I need those to send a signal to my brain that says, hey, I'm full. And so as I'm constructing what I'm going to eat, that's my idea. Now, the components of them can be different, because my body may respond differently from your body, and that's a trial and error, so that you know what types of foods will cause a particular response. And I've learned that if I have a salad as my base, which is the bulky part, and then on top of that I add my protein and my fat, that really gets me into the fast well, and keeps me, remember we talked about the postprandial period, the first 6 hours, and then the early fasting, the next 6, so that's the total of 12 hours. That really gets me through that period. If I don't do that, or if I do something else, if I do some higher carb, bulky, like if I do like quinoa, or even if I do, some people would use different types of bread, multigrain bread and so forth. If I do that, my blood sugars spike. And because they spike, then I get the insulin response, and the insulin causes its own issue. Okay? So that's the reason I use salad most often. Like if you see me either starting a fast, the last meal, or you see me breaking a fast, that's why you'll see I'll have some component of a salad, because that really gives me the bulky part. Okay. And boy, you're right. This is another opportunity to start. Okay. And as I said, I've got some patients out there that are waiting, so I'm gonna go ahead and end this. And I ate the asparagus. I ate the salmon. I've got one more meatball here, so I'm going to go ahead and eat that. And I've eaten part of the salad. I've not eaten the whole thing, but I think I've eaten enough for me that will hold me over into the rest of the fast. Now, this is a pretty hectic week for me, so let me just go ahead and put that out there. As you're getting into a fast, one of the reasons we talk about preparing for the fast, and we'll do a complete review on Friday, one of the reasons we talk about preparing for the fast is that so you can begin anticipating what's going to happen in that week. This week, a pretty busy week for me. My son has a recital last week of school. I'm speaking for Men's Day this weekend. We've got a couple of shows that we've got to produce. I'm doing my shows here. And so if I'm not careful, and if I've not thought that through, then this week can actually push me off of my fast. Right? So the cravings that are there, that are from here, not from my body needing energy, not from my body needing sustenance, but from my brain saying, hey, you would feel comfortable if you ate such and such. And so for me, one of the things, if you've been following me over the last couple of weeks, you know the Cadbury's, and I see Bowie out there, you said, hey, I need to do something with those. Those, if I'm not careful, will be a challenge for me. So I've got to make sure I get rid of those. Okay? All right. So that was the last meal. Salmon, grilled salmon, asparagus, salad, meatballs. And I still have the pasta bowl that I got from Nothing But Noodles, which I'm not eating. I'm going to go ahead and somebody else will get that here in a minute, and we'll move on. All right. Well, thanks for being here. Remember, we are living limitless lives, which say that we're doing anything that we can, everything that we can, to set ourselves up for the best possibility of success. We're not allowing anything from outside or anything from inside to prevent us from doing what we need to do. We're presenting our best selves, our best health, and our best lives. Go live a limitless life, and we'll see you in our next check-in. All right, bye-bye, everybody.